Eagles. All right, so as we all know, the season is over for us. I was heartbroken by the loss to the 40 Winers. They're still the 40 Winers, even though they won. I broke down the 5 key elements to why we lost and told you if anybody told you different, they were a liar. It seems that a lot of people have agreed that Patullo was the problem, but as always, you hear the same old tired narrative that Jalen Hurts, is incompetent. Jalen Hurts is the problem. He's the thing holding us back. Meanwhile, if you do your own research, if you watch the games yourself, if you do any kind of comprehensive thinking, you can tell on your own that it is not Jalen Hurts. And again, for all of those people, for first of all, for anybody who's never seen me before, and this might be your only exposure to me, I do not believe Jalen Hurts is perfect by any means. I don't think any quarterback is. I do think he has his faults, just like any other quarterback. However, he is way better than everybody gives him credit for. He is an elite quarterback. He is the total package quarterback, is what I've labeled him. He isn't a one-trick pony like you hear Joe Burrow. He can throw for 5,000 yards. Okay, great. Or who we got? Josh, who is Superman, right? But Josh, to his detriment, turns on Superman when he doesn't need to, when he has a whole team around him that he can use. So and those aren't digs on those other players, they're just facts. So now the narrative from the talking media is they try to go around and they try to pinpoint the different problems. And we know what the problem has been the whole year, and it's the OC. And thank God Almighty, that's why I have on my Nick Sirianni cap today. He and probably Jeffrey Lurie and the rest went on and made the tough decision to, well, I say tough because it's always difficult to let somebody go, but made the right decision to let Patullo go. Now, I don't think they let him go. I think they demoted him back to wherever he was. And I had called for that. I had called for that week 7. I said, hey, wherever he was, he may have been great there, put him back there. So it looks like, the stuff's finally hit the fan and they did that. They put him back where he was. Yeah, that was the problem. And I had mentioned it in the last video that it's a shame because you could see that he had flashes of brilliance. He had flashes, if it was him calling the plays, he had flashes of where he would have the offense humming, right? He cut the offense loose and give Jalen the ability, call the plays for Jalen, and he come back from a 26-point deficit and a half and win against the Rams, the mighty Rams. He got us up on the Bucks. The Bucks head were on a turnstile. They had never seen this Eagles. They didn't know where the Eagles were coming from in that first half of that game. And they looked like they were going to run away with the game. And then shut the offense down. They looked like in the Cowboys game, the second matchup, 21 or 24-0, whatever it was. They looked dominant. So it's not like he was inept at all aspects, at every game, at all times. And I think that's probably why he lasted as long as he did, because there were flashes in the pan. We're just like, hey, Kevin, can you do that same thing you did in quarters 1 and 2, in quarters 3 and 4, or the same thing you did in quarters 3 and 4 and 1 and 2? Could you just do them all? And for people talking about, oh, Jalen can't do it. If he can't do it, how did he do it? That's the thing that I don't get, how people bite onto this narrative that's going around. If he can't do it, how did he do it last year? How did he do it the year before? How did he do it with all the different OCs that he's had? Now he's going into his 6th OC for the NFL next year. And he had prior OC changes in college. No other QB is dealing with this. No other QB has these continuity problems. And then you're talking about you want to get rid of Nick. Nick has one of the best records in the NFL. Sure, he didn't do his job this year with getting Kevin Patullo in check or making adjustments. We get you. He did a bad job this year. But Nick, look at Harbaugh, right? Harbaugh, 18 years with the organization. Look at Tomlin. Tomlin, 19 or 20 years or whatever with the organization, where his claim to fame is they never had a losing season. And that's hard to do. All props to the man. Never have a losing season. Lots of franchises would love to have that. I'm sure the Cowgirls would love to have that. But you have these coaches that have these long tenures with quarterbacks that everybody and their mama say is better. Josh, Joe, Lamar, and we can't say Patrick because Patrick has had by far the best career. But the other 3 of the big 4. And they're producing nothing. They're producing diddly. And you want to get rid of the guy who's gotten you to 2 Super Bowls, the only coach that has gotten you to 2 Super Bowls, the only QB who has gotten you to 2 Super Bowls and won you one. That's what you want to do? Our fans are spoiled beyond measure. Okay? They do not understand the hard times. They do not understand 5-win seasons and 4-win seasons and 7-win seasons. They don't understand that. To this level of fandom that we have right now in the Eagles kingdom, and in the Eagles Nation, whatever you want to call it, is Super Bowl or nothing. Anything less than Super Bowl is a disappointment. And I get it. I'm glad to be part of a group that demands greatness. But there's a difference in understanding what you have and what you can be. And what we had was a terrible OC. Terrible. I'm sorry, Kevin, but you were horrible with our team. Somebody else made a good point. They say if you give, and I may have made this analogy before, but they just made it, so it made me think of it. If you give a race car, if you give a novice like myself an Indy car, sure, I can go quick, but maybe in a straight line. I'm never going to get it around the laps like a professional driver. And guess what? If you give a professional driver a little beat up tin can, they can move that thing way better than I ever could. But that's what we have with our OC. He was a regular guy who didn't know how to drive the IndyCar offense that we had, Kellen had. And listen, Kellen started off not knowing how to do it, honestly. That's why we were 2-2. And we were wondering if coming off that previous season, if we were just going to be in an endless slump. But he made his adjustments. He got us humming. It wasn't always a perfect game up until the postseason, but lots and lots of great ones. I think we went 16-1 after the 2-2. We only lost that Commanders game that Jalen got knocked out of. He had us under control. I wonder why this light is doing this. It looks like it's like fading in and out. I can kind of see it in the camera. He got it under control. We need an OC that wants to be an OC, that thrives in his position, that is not looking for a head coaching job next year, that wants to bring continuity and stability to the team, that wants to use all the pieces of the puzzle that he has available to them. And all our receivers, whether we have AJ or don't, whether we have anybody or don't, somebody who sees what they have and can get the best out of them. The same way Vic does with the defense. He says, look, I got a bunch of rookies. I'm going to make them superstars, household names. Look, I got players that have been in the league for a long time. I see their strengths. I'm going to move their position. I'm going to teach them how to be the best they can be. That's what we need from an OC. We put those two things together, and the super team that they claimed we were, we will be. If we can get that together. And listen, Nick, you put your coaching hat on. This is your coaching hat, okay? I need you to be wearing this and locked in to your job. And understanding that when it's going sour, adjustments have to be made. If the OC can't do it, you need to step in and do it, or you need to get a consultant, or you need to do whatever it takes to get us where we need to be. Hire somebody mid-season if necessary to come in and consult with your OC and with your team and come up with creative schemes or whatever. If you don't get a brilliant OC, if you don't get the old boy from Miami or Harbaugh or somebody else, or what was it? I wanted to say Killmonger, Kingsbury. If you don't get somebody who we know is proven to be amazing at the job, and you get a relatively just okay person, go ahead and hire somebody that can get our Eagles back to where they need to be. Because that game against the 49ers was winnable. We had another drive just like we did against the Chargers where we're moving the ball, we're getting ourselves into position to win, and we lose with 4 straight dumb plays. That was a game for us to win. We should be playing the Bears and not the Rams. The Rams should be playing the Seahawks. We should be playing the Bears on Sunday at 6:30. That's us. That's our slot right there. I should still be going to the Eagles bar with my family and enjoying the game. My season has no business being over in the wild card round. But let's talk about that. How in the world are Lions fans and Cowboys fans and any fan who didn't even make it to the playoffs and hasn't been in the playoffs in years, Cowboys specifically talking to them, laughing and pointing their fingers and talking about, ha, you're not good. You were eliminated from the playoffs 4 weeks before the playoffs even started. You were already in Cancun drinking margaritas before the playoffs even started. How dare you even think to point your fingers at the Eagles? When your QB has 10 years in the league and hasn't even been to the conference championship. Jalen Daniels, with 1 year, has as many wins in the postseason as Dak. And you dare point fingers? When you had the opposite problem of us, where you had a decent offense but a terrible defense, and we had a great defense and so-so offense. But guess what? Jalen got us to the dance. He got us to the playoffs. Your quarterback did not. Your organization did not. You are an entertainment franchise and not a football franchise. Let's understand that. And any other fan that want to come take shots at us. Jalen and our team have more success than just about everybody. Name another QB. Name the QBs right now that are playing that have Super Bowls and multiple Super Bowl appearances. Name them. There's only a handful. And your favorites aren't there. Burrow's not there. I said multiple Super Bowls. Burrow's not there. Josh is not there. Lamar's not there. Who else isn't there? Bryce Young's not there. I'm going through all the teams real quick. Baker's not there. Darnold's not there. Purdy's been the one, so he's not there. Colts, the young bull, he's not there. Stroud's not there. Shador's not there. I already say Joe Burrow's not there. Who they have on Saints? Sourdough, whatever his name is. Man, that light is really annoying with it doing that. I'm sorry. I see it going in and out, and I have no idea why. I adjusted the ring light. I have no idea why it's doing that. Let me see if I can do something real quick. While I go down this list of people who are not there, let me give myself some more light. Hold up some light here. Okay? Kirk Cousins and Penix aren't there. Jordan Love's not there. Who's the Vikings guy? The Vikings quarterback isn't there. I'm just gonna go with that because I'm tripping over these names. The Titans quarterback isn't there. The Jaguars quarterback isn't there. The Giants quarterback isn't there. The Cardinals. The Rams has been the 1. I don't think Stafford's been the 2. The Raiders quarterback isn't there. The Dolphins quarterback isn't there. The Patriots quarterback isn't there. Goff has been the 1, but not multiple. Caleb isn't there. Herbert isn't there. Nix isn't there. Whoever's on the Jets isn't there. And Rodgers, okay, you got Rodgers. I don't know if he's been in multiple Super Bowls. I know he's got one, but I don't think he's been to multiple. So that might be the only other one, and Lamar's not there. None of these, you guys have no room to talk. And Jalen's numbers over year, I believe, are up, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just look at that real quick. Even with the terrible year. Hold on. Even with the terrible year they had. He improved in efficiency with fewer turnovers compared to 2024. He had a higher completion percentage, better passer rating, better TD to interception ratio. Yet you're calling him a bust. Better than last year when he went to the Super Bowl. And you know why he improved in these numbers? Because Saquon didn't go off. So where everybody said, okay, Saquon's not going to be able to do it for you, Eagles, you're going to have to get Jalen to step up. Guess what? All of his numbers show that he stepped up and he did what he was supposed to do. Again, not infallible, but an improvement. His numbers, because everybody's a numbers whore. I apologize, but that's the reality of it. Everybody in this league, the randoms and the elitists and everything are numbers whores. Okay, what were your numbers? What were your passing numbers? How many yards did you have? How many this, that, and the other did you have? There's your proof. He improved on several QB stats to try to help his team elevate and to try to help his team get back to the Super Bowl and win. But when you have a OC plus other things going on, remember, it's not just one thing. We had several things. We had drop passes. We had an O-line that wasn't as dominant. We had a terrible OC. We had some miscues with Jalen. We had some frustration with our receivers. There were multiple things. We had penalties, and that was huge penalties. So we had other things that contributed to it, right? It wasn't just one thing. It was a team effort that brought us all the way down. But Jalen himself is not the narrative that they try to put out. Definitely not the narrative they're trying to put out. The remaining teams in the divisional round, let's see if I can find it. Because I really don't care. Like I said, I don't care about the Super Bowl. I don't care about any of this stuff. It's Bills Broncos on Saturday, Texans Patriots on Sunday, 49ers Seahawks on Saturday, Rams Bears on Sunday. So if I'm hoping Josh still makes it and gets one. The Bills don't have a Super Bowl win at all, period. They were to 4 straight but lost all 4. So hopefully Josh gets one and the organization gets their first. I know what the feeling is to have your first, so otherwise, if he falls to Bo Nix, he'll be out of it. So I think Bills win. Between Patriots and Texans, I think Texans have that really good defense. I think they win. 49ers, Seahawks, I have no clue. Seahawks kept them to 3 points last time, so they might do it again. And Bears-Rams, that's a toss-up. Is Caleb going to give them another fourth quarter miracle? There's no telling. There's absolutely no telling. He may or may not. That one, I could literally flip a coin because, hell, the Rams were getting ready to fall to the Panthers again, and they pulled it out. So it's anybody's game. Don't care. I need my Eagles to get back on track and do what they're supposed to do. But yeah, these narratives that you hear about Jalen specifically, not about the team and everything, because I just listed out tons of stuff that we did wrong. But when they try to pinpoint it on Jalen, it's complete and utter nonsense, y'all. You have to look at the daggum film. How many times in that last game did Jalen put it right on the money? And the ball was dropped. How many times did we make good plays and we had penalties and they got called back? How often did we hamstring ourselves? Jake missing the kick that could have, instead of us needing a touchdown to win because we were down 4, we only needed a field goal. And he was 2 for 2 on field goals. He just missed the PAT. He could have chipped that field goal in and we could have went to overtime. And then again, it was anybody's game. If the 49ers got the ball first and didn't score because the defense made a stop, Quinyon makes another interception or Coop gets him one. And then all we need to do is either go down and get a field goal or a touchdown. Anything was possible. But a combination of a whole lot of bad things brought us down. We have to work on all of that. We need to draft O-line. We need a better OC. We need a couple of pieces moved around to elevate our team back to where it was. Hopefully we don't lose too many offensive pieces. And we can run it back. It just trips me out how we turn on our players and how we turn on our franchise so easily in the face of adversity. You're only with your team and you're only with your folks if they win or if they're doing something for you. You're the type of person, we have the type of fans, unfortunately, in a lot of cases, well, at least the loud ones. You don't know about the quiet ones because they never talk, they never post, they never say anything. So I believe in my heart of hearts, we were born and raised in Philadelphia, that the city overall, the quiet part isn't saying all the stuff that the loud part is saying. That Jalen is terrible and we need to trade him and that our team is horrible and all this other stuff. It's just, we had a bad year. But guess what? We did something that a lot of other teams haven't done. Make it to the playoffs every single year with Jalen. These other QBs can't say that. These other franchises can't say that. 2 Super Bowls with Jalen winning 1. Dominating in the win. Could have won the second one. We'll probably win 1 or 2 more under Jalen. They can't say that. They can't look at their QB and say, oh, we got 1 or 2 more Super Bowls that we can get out of you. They can't say that. They pretend to say it. They pretend to say, if we redraft the league, Josh will get us there, or these guys will get us there, with no evidence of it. No evidence. And it's sad. And then people buy it. You see them type these same comments. You see them regurgitate these same comments. The Josh and Lamar and them will get them there. And they're the men. With no evidence of it. If they say Patrick will get you there, great. I mean, what more evidence do you need? 5 Super Bowls in a row, winning 3 of them. Great. But there's nobody else but Jalen. Nobody else. We got to do better. We got to be with our team whether they win, lose, or draw. Real fans. I went to work the next day, sad, but still Eagles geared up. And you know what everybody was? Did they win last night? You still rocking Eagles? You still with your team? And I stood up loud and proud like, hell yeah, why wouldn't I be? They're still my team. A couple of 49ers fans brought their little coffee cups and they were sipping out of it, looking at me side-eyed. And I laughed and I said, good game. Although I felt like we got cheated with some penalties that didn't get called on them, pass interference, huge pass interference on AJ that would have been first and goal for easy touchdown. Hey, but that's the way the dice rolls. They're still my team. They always will be my team. If they don't win a single game in a season, they'll be my team. They'll be my sucky team. But it's unfortunate that a person like myself, who's old and nobody knows about, nobody cares about, for the most part. I know that I do have people that watch me, and I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody who watches me, who even if they don't type, that they take the time to listen to a couple of minutes or the whole video to hear what I have to say. I appreciate that. And I know my grandbabies love it too, because they always tell me, Pop, I gave you a thumbs up. That's the best. That's the best when they tell me that. But it's unfortunate that my voice is not echoed more loudly amongst our fan base and larger content creators and our own media that's in Philadelphia that is hell-bent on tearing our team apart, on pushing out false narratives, on planting seeds in our players' heads that make them resent one another, on all kinds of things that they shouldn't be doing. That they should be uplifting our team and rightly so criticizing parts that it should be, like I have, but offering suggestions on how we can improve and how we can get better and being encouraged. Like the lady with the Jaguars, right? She encouraged the coach and said, listen, you did an amazing job this year. Even though you fell short, we believe in you. That's the same message I'm preaching. I believe in Nick. I believe in Jalen. I believe in AJ. I believe in all of our players, Goddard, and everybody that we have. Even through mistakes and heartache, I believe in them. And if they run it back, I believe they'll do better. But that message doesn't get out to the populace. It's just, they stink and Jalen's holding them back and blah, 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 blah. All the negative stuff. When the proof is in the pudding that none of that is true. None of it. Take the time to look at the stuff for yourself. Take the time to do the research yourself. Look at the numbers that they claim are out there. Look at how he operates against teams when the play calls are good, and look at what he does when the play calls are bad. How he saves the team from taking bad sacks. How he saves the team from costly interceptions most of the time, except for in that Chargers game. How he makes something out of nothing. Man, come on. Come on. Think for yourself. And that goes the same with all the other quarterbacks. I hear unfair criticism about other quarterbacks too. It's just that I don't care about them. They're not my quarterback. But I do hear it, unfair criticism on other quarterbacks. So it's not like it's just Jalen, but it is loudest for the Eagles and Jalen. There is no other quarterback in this league that is criticized more than him. There's no other team that's talked about as disparagingly as the Eagles. None. None whatsoever. And it's really sad. There are other punching bags that could be had in this league. You know who you are with the 5 points. It's not a logo, it's a rating. You know who you are. Keep that energy over there. Not for our team. Whatever. Like I said, I don't know what I'll do. But I know with my Nick Sirianni hat, I'm thinking about the future. I'm thinking about next year. I'm thinking about all the ways that I can improve my team, how I can help my team be better and be successful again. Get back to the playoffs, get back to the Super Bowl, and get back to winning. And I hope he's doing that too. I hope our coach is doing that too. And I hope that our fans stay encouraged and understand that you can't win them all. It's an anomaly to be the Patriots. It's an anomaly, the Brady Patriots. It's an anomaly to be the Chiefs in this day and time. Back in the day, where you kept the same team and pieces didn't move around, and how fluid everything is, you kept the same coaches, you kept the same players. It was a lot easier to have continuity back in the day than it is now. So don't look at the outliers like Patrick and Brady. They're superstars, no doubt about it. But you look at the normal, and the normal is the Eagles and under. That's the normal. I love you guys out there. And I hope you stay encouraged about our team and know that it's not the end for us. All right? If I hear any good news, if I hear about us traveling internationally, I'll be there and I'll talk about it. If there's anything worth talking about, like who the hire is, whoever they hire, I'll talk about it. But I don't give a rip about the Super Bowl now that we're not in it, all right? So fly, Eagles, fly. Go Birds.